How will we achieve it? We have a culture, clean our house and put the garbage outside for someone to kick it and then get it back again. We have to change that. We are moving in the right direction. We are being given a good leadership now. It is for us to make the dreams of our forefathers and the dreams of citizens now to be coming true. I left India in 1969, having acquired my postgraduate degree in Master of Surgery from Agra Medical School. Went to England, did the housemanship and all, basic background as general surgeon. After 3 years, went into general practice. I am been 42 years practicing there as a general practitioner. I also work as a GP tutor for Leeds University, and I have a special interest in ENT. What I have learned from life is plurality gives the success. In India, you have so many languages, so many provinces, so many thinking, because all thoughts come from those sides. That makes India plural, rich in thoughts and rich in culture. We have to take advantage of that because our inherence is great. Unless we acquire and value the inherent values which we have, we cannot succeed. India has a lot to give to the world, but it would be only done by mutual learning and trying to solve the problem with honesty and integrity. People talk about work ethics, the basic thing which have been said in the old times at all. Nindanti niti nipuna yadivastayantu lakshmi samaveshatu yastatva is with adeva marnamastu yogantareva nayat paschalanti padam nadhira. Let people criticize me or praise me. Let people make me rich or poor, but all I need from God is never deviate me from the path of righteousness. That is the inherence we have taken. I want to look at NRIs as the noble resident of India, so that they would be equated with the Arya of the Aryavarth. That is the motto, that the NRIs become the noble citizens and noble residents of India. Challenge is there. I look at the audience to provide it so that we can achieve it. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Now there are 3 more speakers. We have on the panel Sardar Dalbir Singh ji. He is an expert in several fields. He has got ideas to contribute to this discussion in regard to public health. After these 2 speakers, the session will be concluded after Sardar Dalbir Singh speaks. Now I request Professor Subra Ganeshan from USA on productive enhancement. He would like to make his comments.
Good afternoon. I'll give a very short speech. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to be here. My name is Subra Ganesan. I'm from Detroit area, Michigan, USA. Detroit is known for, it's an automotive capital of the world. Ford introduced the concept of manufacturing, and he introduced the concept of manufacturing with pipelined, conveyor belt based manufacturing, mainly manufacturing at a lower cost. So that is my interest. I am the president of a society called ISPE, International Society for Productivity Enhancement. I would like to use that society with 1,000 members, with the intelligent 1,000 members, to support Make India program, where our Prime Minister Modi is trying to make a lot of products in India, high performance, lower cost, and flexible products. And we have a lot of ideas, and we will be able to contribute and give ideas to, through the NRI association, to the mass people here in India. So that is my first thought. Second one is, I'm an educator, I'm a professor, so I interact as an individual and also through the society called Indo-US University Collaboration Society, And then we collaborate with many of the engineering institutions. There are around 2,000 engineering institutions in India. We interact whoever is interested with them, and then we'll tell them how to teach better, how to introduce design in their education, and then introduce them to research and so on. So we are doing it in an individual basis, but we would like to make it more formal through NRI society. So those are the two interests that I have, and then I hope we'll be able to do better, and we'll return a lot of contributions back to India. With this, I will end my speech. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Subraganeshan. Now we have got Dr. Kishore Mehrotra from New Zealand. May I invite him to kindly come and address.
Hello, my name is Dr. Kishore Mehrotra. I am from New Zealand. I work in a wireless communications company, and we make quite state-of-the-art products. So I've been lucky in the sense that when I was in India, in HL Hyderabad, I had a chance to work with Dr. Abdul Kalam for Prithvi missile, and it was really very inspiring to work with him because he just stirred a lot of new ideas in me. Okay, and today, when Honorable Sir Amolak Kohli was talking about educational system of India, then I realized that yeah, I have been an educator myself for a short time though, but I've been involved in R&D of wireless comm system. So, so I've been discussing with my brilliant colleagues, both Indian as well as New Zealanders, the white people as well as our Indian colleagues, about this part. Are we not innovative? Are we not imaginative? And how to improve upon that? Okay. So two things come to mind. Obviously, I'm not providing a solution for the problem right away, but few things come to mind when I observe their educational system and our education system. First thing is DIY, do it yourself. You can see yourself, if you do something, instead of just understanding theoretically and start doing it practically, the knowledge stays for a longer time, and over a course of time, you get new ideas. You do become imaginative. And it's not one-day job. It's an integrated process over a course of time. Number two, seek a rational explanation for each and every concept you learn. Make life hell for your teacher. Don't let him sit at peace. Okay? I'll give a few examples without dilly-dallying too much. There was a man called Frank Whittle of UK. Okay? Poor chap was at a very, he was working in a very small capacity in British Air Force, and he wanted to make something which was never done before, a jet engine. He was told by all the doctorates of the R&D establishment that, man, you are wrong. Theoretically, it's not possible. Okay? Forget about it. We are not funding you. He said, no. And they told him, you are only a diploma holder, and that also you have not finished your exams. Okay? So forget about it. He said, no. He got some private funding, started doing it himself. Finally, we fly in the jet engines nowadays. Okay? And he proved everybody wrong. I'll give you one more example. We had a very great scientist who was ignored in his time, Jagdish Chandra Bose. Okay? He was the first person in the world to suggest something called a crystal for receiving wireless waves. Okay? And he was also the first person to make something called a mercury coherer, which was a very unique idea, and because at that time people were using iron filings for receiving electromagnetic waves. Okay, his idea was copied by Mr. Marconi, Guglielmo Marconi, the mercury coherer. His lab book was lost in the British Royal Society. Okay, and he was not honored. He was not given a Nobel Prize, but his ideas were all used up by everybody. But 2008, the great-great-granddaughter of Marconi was in Calcutta. Incidentally, I was in Calcutta because that's my wife's place. And she acknowledged the work done by J.C. Bose. She said, my great-great-great-grandfather has, I'm very grateful to Mr. Jagdish Chandra Bose that my great-great-grandfather, Guglielmo Marconi, could build a radio out of it. Finally, I'll just let you know, I'm very thankful to all the distinguished members of the advisory board and all of you for having me, for getting me the Hind Ratan Award. I'm also thankful to my wife Mamta and my kids Pratik and Pratiksha. That's all.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
We have two more speakers. There is one person from Andhra Pradesh, Mr. Jayachandra Prasad. I would request him to kindly make his observations.
सबक नमस्कार. मैं आंध्र प्रदेश में जयचंद्र प्रसाद. My mother language is Telugu. తెలుగు में ఇది చాలా గొప్ప అవకాశం. గురీందర్ సింగ్ గారు వాళ్ళ ఫాదర్ పేరు మీద ఇది నిలబెట్టడం చాలా గొప్ప విషయం. శాస్త్రం చెప్తోంది, యజ్ఞాచరతి శ్రేష్టస్య దేవే తరో జనః సయత్ ప్రమాణం కృతే లోకస్తధనువర్తతే. పెద్దలు పూజ్యులు ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వారి యొక్క అడుగుజాడల్లో నడిచినటువంటిది ఈ యొక్క సాంప్రదాయాన్ని నిలబెడుతున్నటువంటి గురీందర్ సింగ్ గారికి ముందుగా ప్రణామాలు తెలియజేసుకుంటూ, ఏదైనా సరే ఒక మంచి కార్యక్రమం తలపెట్టినప్పుడు అది భగవంతుడు హర్షిస్తాడంటారు. నేహా విక్రమ నాశోస్తి ప్రత్యవాయో న విద్యతే స్వల్పమత్యస్య ధర్మస్య త్రాయతో మహతో భయా. చిన్న చీమంత సహాయం నువ్వు చేసినట్టయితే ఏనుగంత సహాయాన్ని భగవంతుడు మీకు అందిస్తాడని చెప్పారు. ఈ ఎన్ఆర్ఐస్ అందరూ కూడా మన దేశానికి ఎంతో కొంత సేవ చేసినట్టయితే మంచిదని ఉద్దేశంతో, ఆయన సదుద్దేశంతో ఈ యొక్క కార్యక్రమాన్ని ఏర్పాటు చేస్తున్నారు. ధనాని భూమౌ పశువచ్చ గోష్ఠి నారీ గృహద్వారే జనానే శ్వశానే కర్మానుగోగచ్చతి జీవం ఏకహ అంటారు. అంటే నువ్వు చేసుకున్నది ఏదైతే ఉందో, నువ్వు సంపాదించింది ఏదైతే ఉందో అది భూమి మీద ఉండిపోతుంది, పశువులు గోశాలలోనే ఉండిపోతాయి. కానీ నువ్వు చేసుకున్నటువంటి సంపద ఏదైతే ఉందో అది నీకు కూడా వస్తుంది అని చెప్తుంటారు. నువ్వు చేసుకున్నటువంటి కర్మే నీకు కూడా వస్తుంది. నువ్వు చేసినటువంటి మంచి పనులు ఈ భూమి మీద ఉంటుంటాయి. అదే నీ యొక్క కర్మకి మరొక మంచిది మానవ జన్మ, అద్భుతమైనటువంటి జన్మ. ఈ జన్మ నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి ఇది మీరు చేసుకునేటువంటి పుణ్యం మంచిదని చెప్తుంది. అంచేత మన యొక్క ధర్మం ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ ధర్మాన్ని కాపాడమని, శ్రేయాన్ స్వధర్మో విగుణ పరధర్మానుష్ఠా స్వధర్మే నిగుణం శ్రేయ పరధర్మో భయావహ అన్నారు. అంచేత మన ధర్మాన్ని మనం కాపాడుకుంటూ చక్కగా ఈ యొక్క కార్యక్రమాన్ని తీసుకుంటూ నాకు ఈ మంచి అవకాశాన్ని ఇచ్చినటువంటి పెద్దలందరూ కూడా జీవిజీ కృష్ణమూర్తి సార్కి, అలాగే మన యొక్క సీనియర్ గవర్నర్ భీష్మనారాయణ సింగ్ గారికి, వచ్చినందరికీ కూడా నమస్కారం తెలియజేసుకుంటూ
చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు. తెలుగులో చాలా ధన్యవాదాలు.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Now we have got Mr. Natarajan from Saudi Arabia. Now he is the last speaker. Thereafter Sardar Dalbir Singh ji will talk to you and the session will be concluded.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know it's very difficult to hold the attention of the audience after a very nice lunch, so let me be very brief. I come from Saudi Arabia. I've been in Saudi for about 17 years now. And of course, I went to Saudi as a kid, I mean, almost like immediately after my graduation. So I've not seen much of India in terms of business context. But you know, very quickly, I mean, Narendra Modi talks about all the time that how Indians who have made it in abroad should come back and give back to India. You know, somehow, you know, have an opportunity to really follow the trend. Though I live in Saudi for about 17 years, have set up multiple businesses in India, and I run a successful hospital. My wife takes care of it, and I have NBFC as well. But apart from contributing personally, the company that I work for, Zamil Industrial, you know, I've been part of really making the company commit more than 1,500 crores in India over the last 7-8 years. We have multiple ventures in India. We run an air conditioning company, we run a steel business, we run an energy and infra company. So I mean, I think based on the interaction that I've been having with some of the colleagues here, I know all of you are settled in the countries that you really migrated to. But how do we give back to the country that we belong to is something that then we can all think about. So I was just talking to the advisory board. How do we really strengthen the role of NRI Welfare Society in a way that we can really make the country benefit from this immense potential. 2014, the Indian diasporic community remitted close to about like $70 billion. This is the highest. I mean, second was China, which was about $60 billion. Okay, so instead of really asking the question, how does NRI Welfare Society help the NRIs to overcome the problems in India? Let's flip the question. How do we ensure that India as a country benefit from NRIs, and how does a vehicle like NRI Welfare Society come and really bridge the gap? Thank you very much.
That concludes the open house session, in which lot of NRIs participated, and they made the discussion fruitful and useful for future. Now the valedictory session begins. See, Mr. Alain Saint Angie will be the chief guest, and Srimati Meera Kumar, the silent and effective speaker she was, she will be the preside over this session. And Dr. Bhishman Singh will be here, Sardar Dalbir Singh will be here. The session will be conducted by the president. Secondly, since I have to go for another spiritual conference in Ghaziabad, I will take leave of you because I will have to reach there by 4 o'clock. Kindly excuse me that I am going. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. GVG Krishnamurthy there, formally closing the open house session. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your gracious time and being here with us for the 34th International Congress of NRIs. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our distinguished chief guest for the valedictory session, Honorable Srimati Meera Kumar, the Honorable former Speaker of the Lok Sabha. A very warm welcome to ma'am. May I request all mobile telephones, electronic gadgets to either be switched off or put onto silent mode from now onwards, please. Namaskar, good afternoon and swagatam. Distinguished chief guest, Honorable former Speaker of the Lok Sabha, the Honorable Srimati Meera Kumar, distinguished dignitaries on the stage, our distinguished international and national participants, respected members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege and honor in welcoming you to the valedictory session of the 34th International Congress of NRIs, organized by the NRI Welfare Society of India. May I request everyone to kindly not take personal photographs from now onwards, please. And I request for the proceedings of the valedictory session, I request Sardar Dalbir Singh, Secretary of the AICC, to kindly address the distinguished audience and formally set the tone for the valedictory session, please.
Honorable Dr. Meera Kumar ji, former Speaker, Dr. Bhisham Narayan ji, my friend Ellen, Federal Minister from Seychelles, my friend Dr. Ansari, Major Ved Prakash, Mr. Gurinder Singh ji, and all distinguished participants. Ma'am, we have had a very grand inaugural function to this NRI conference this morning. We have had very distinguished speakers who spoke at length on various issues facing the country today, and what a wonderful role our expatriate community living overseas in many countries of the world have played, not only in holding a hand and being part of us, but also making substantial contribution to India's development and standing by us in every hour of adversity. We have had a very thoughtful and a very interactive dialogue since morning, in which many of you have participated, and during the deliberations many issues have come up. It was very interesting to hear many of the participants discuss at length about some of the formidable challenges facing our country today, social, economic, political. People talked of even issues like agriculture, how we can improve the crop production, how to arrest migration from rural areas to urban areas, how to convert many of our rural areas into integrated economic centers, how to improve food security. They talked of environmental health, they talked of infant mortality, talked of drinking water, how can improve water supply in various villages of India. And I think one issue which was not discussed at length, on which I wanted to speak a couple of minutes ago, was on public health. Few doctors did touch upon, since very large amount of participants today are doctors, that of course we have some gaps in a public health system. I don't mind even mentioning figures here. Even today we lose nearly 1400 to 1500 people only because of diarrhea every day. We lose about 1,000 people because of tuberculosis every day. We lose about 500 to 600 people because of malaria every day. I'm not talking about cancer. So these are some of the things that can be taken care of, and I think as NRIs you can play a very, very important role. We had not long ago, polio was a very big problem in India. That's a great success story. We eradicated polio in the last 4 or 5 years. It was a remarkable success story, 1.2 billion people. Today is almost, India is polio free. HIV was a very big threat 5 to 6 years ago. We've been able to handle it, control it very effectively. Yes, tuberculosis has spiraled out of control. Diarrhea is not actually a disease. I'm not a doctor, so I cannot really comment, but then it's just a condition. Because of contaminated water, poor hygiene, that leads to this thing. And 1,500 people dying every day because of diarrhea is not something all of us would happily accept. I think the healthcare, particularly in rural India, needs a lot of attention, and you people can play a significant role. We have a huge pool of doctors living abroad. A very large part of that healthcare sector, even in rural India today, is also being supplemented by civil society. We have a highly developed civil society in India. Of course, there are organizations like Global Health Strategies, Melinda Bill Gates Foundation, there are TAG, there are a whole lot of, there are nearly 22 organizations that are working, international organizations. Apart from that, there are a whole lot of local Indian NGOs working. I'm sure you can pull in your own bit, you can supplement efforts, and large amount of health sector, affordable health care in smaller towns and in rural sector, is still there are huge gap, in which I would like to appeal to most of you. But ma'am, many of these issues have been discussed, and how our economy can be revitalized, what role can the NRIs play. They would like to come and invest money in India, they'd like to come and promote projects. They'll talk of biotechnology, IT, in many sectors, infrastructure, port development, aviation sector, and they would, obviously, they were keen to listen to many speakers, also on behalf of the government, give them some assurance as to what lies ahead. And they were all of the opinion that, of course, India has a great future, has been forecast made by the World Bank, that by 2016-17, we would have overtaken the Chinese economy. We possibly would be the third largest economy in the world. And with such bright future and with such optimism, they're all looking forward to connect and engage with India in a very, very meaningful way. And they're all looking forward to hearing your words of wisdom. With these words, I'd like to thank all of you for having sat all through the proceedings. And I think even during the lunch hour, most of you were sitting here on this table and participating in the deliberation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for a most wonderful speech made by Major Dalbir Singh, the Secretary of the AICC. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very distinguished gentleman seated on the top table, Major Ved Prakash, the Secretary of the AICC. I have the privilege in requesting him to kindly address our distinguished audience, please.
Honorable Srimati Meera Kumar ji, former Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Honorable Dr. Bhishma Narayan Singh ji, former Governor of 7 states and also former Union Minister in the Cabinet of Srimati Indira Gandhi, the Lady of the Millennium. Honorable our friend Shireen Dalbir. Anyway, I had written the name, but somehow I am unable to find out. So the distinguished members on the stage and distinguished NRI members, I am very happy to be amongst you. Every year the NRI conference is organized by the NRI Welfare Society, and I am lucky enough to interact with the NRIs who come from all over the world. And I must thank Gurinder ji and Deepak ji and Kanta ji for having kept the tradition of Sardar Harbhajan Singh ji and maintained this system, annual system. I really am very happy to interact with the NRIs who have come this year. Most of the faces I see are new. So, because I know people who come every year and I know people who have come this year. So, I welcome you all. It is a great thing to be amongst you. Friends, India is a vast country. It has tremendous resources. In this world, India with its resources is really doing well. We are almost sufficient in power sector, which needs to run our this industries and agriculture and other things. And I personally feel that with the resources available to us, the most important resource are educated, intelligent, hard-working manpower. We have over 60% people in the age group of 18 and 50 years who are intelligent, who are hard-working, who are dedicated, and who are working for the improvement and upliftment and development of our country. So, my NRI friends, I am very proud of all of you. In your own area of operation, you are helping India to earn a good name. You are working dedicatedly in your respective field. I have attended number of World Economic Forum conferences in India, and in that the people who come from abroad, whether they are Indians or from other countries, they are very appreciative of Indians who are settled abroad and doing a good job. So friends, I am not in the habit of giving long speeches. I can really tell you that look, wherever you are, you have to bring the image of India on top. You have to work hard for the country, and we hope that India will continue doing well and will inspire all others to do a good job. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Honorable Major Ved Prakash, the Secretary of the AICC, for making a very short and a very sweet speech, which is also always welcome when we hear you speak. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege and honor in requesting Honorable Dr. Bhishma Narayan Singh, the Honorable former Governor of Tamil Nadu and the Northeastern States and President of the NRI Welfare Society of India, to kindly address the distinguished audience, please.
Most respected Shrimati Meera Kumarji, His Excellency the Tourism Minister, Government of Seychelles, my very dear friend, that side our Singh Sahab, then Gurinder ji, this side is Ansari ji, Major Ved Prakash ji, and my dear very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. A brief speech I had given, you see, in the forenoon. I would have liked to speak in Hindi also, but since my minister will not follow a single word, so I will have to speak in English. But this time, you see, I will give you some background and the factual position of economy in our country. That I will give you in my speech. Morning speech was a little bit different because I had to be very, very brief. I decided to speak in this very valedictory session because Meera ji will be here, and but at the very outset I would like to welcome Meera Kumarji. Meera Kumarji doesn't need any introduction. You all must be knowing. She was not only among the our speakers, all the speakers in our country. They were very important people, very learned people. But among all the speakers, she was the first women speaker of this country. First women. None was there before that. And it's a great honor for us. Of United States, I can't criticize. The United States President is here. Even today in United States, there is no women president. United States became independent. Their democracy is 200 years old. But no women president so far. But we had a women president also in India. That's your country that you must keep in mind. And you have kept in mind. The other thing is that she belongs to a very, very distinguished family of our country. A very distinguished freedom fighters of our country. Let Babu Jagjivan Ramji, I think you all will be knowing about it. And that great contribution he has made. And even on this platform I can say, because I have a little bit Gandhian background, I belong to a Gandhian family. Mistakes are being corrected, because you see, we also commit mistake. It is unfortunate that we have given Bharat Ratna to many people in this country, including MGR, where I was governor. But a tall leader like Jagjivan Ramji has not been given so far Bharat Ratna. From this platform, I would like to mention about it, and highlight this my feeling about it, that why not Jagjeevan Ramji so far? You talk to anybody in this country, any leader of this country, they will all say that he was, as a minister, he was top among all the ministers, whether this party or that party. As a minister, made mark. And you must be remembered, this Bangladesh war took place under the leadership of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. She was the prime minister. But Jagjeevan Babu was defense minister also. And with Gandhi ji, in the freedom movement, great contribution is there. So Meera ji is the worthy daughter of Babu Jagjeevan Ram ji, and I can say she is not only enhancing the position of the tradition which she has inherited, or the culture she has inherited from the family and from the father, she is enhancing it. And you will listen to her today. She is IFS also. She is IFS. So many things can be said about Meera ji, but since minister was talking to Meera ji and not knowing each other, and delegates from Seychelles and other parts, so therefore I thought I first mention about Meera ji. Then what is the position today? Briefly I will tell you. Global situation, what is the position? But I will have to go through in English. Morning also I spoke extempore in English, but this text I will go, it will take less time. With vast technological changes and a number of major developments, because you all are very enlightened, all are very talented, very enlightened, and very important people in different fields, representing India as a matter of fact, and doing well in that country. With vast technological changes and a number of major developments which have taken place all over, the world of today is very different from what it was, we may say, because we became independent 6 years ago, we may say 66 years ago. Very different. Economy is playing a more dominant role today, overshadowing the social and political aspect of human lives in the whole world. The globalization of economy has emerged as a very powerful and potent force which one can hardly ignore, very difficult to ignore. The trend is likely to continue in the days ahead, and we have to recognize this basic economic reality in all its aspects. We have to recognize it. No country, nobody has any other option. So, but let me tell about our situation in India, how it is developed. Let me state briefly by reviewing the state of Indian economy at present. Our economy has been rapidly integrating with the global economy over the past decades, not past decade only, past decades, with a growing sense of self-confidence. Since we launched the economic reforms program in 1991, I can say it was started in Mr. Rajiv Gandhi's time also, but prominently 91 everybody mentions. Our economy has grown at an average rate of over 6% per annum. This is the average since 1991 till today. This is the average. In 2003 and 2004 and 2005 and 2006, the growth rate of GDP touched 8.2%. It has increased tremendously at that time. Even when the world recession hit the major economies in the world in 2007-2008, India's economy showed resilience and continued to grow around 5% per annum. India's economy has recovered quickly from the impact of world recession. You must have marked about it because your root is here in India. You know what happens in India also. It is likely to grow at 5.5%. That is our assessment here. It is likely to grow at 5.5% in 2014 and 2015. India's foreign exchange reserve has crossed 240 billions. You know, in 1991 it was only 1 billion. And the macroeconomic situation remains positive and stable. Inflation has also been is being controlled, riding on low oil and food prices. It's being controlled. It is coming under control gradually. We are one of the two fast-growing largest economy in the world. World Bank has forecasted. Again, I am repeating because this part I had mentioned in the morning in my speech. World Bank has forecasted India's growth in 2016 and 17 at 6.5% against China's growth 6.3%. That means in 2016-17, India will overtake China in GDP growth. Because there is always an impression everywhere among our people also about China. But the system is totally different. We are transforming our economy through democracy. China, there is no democracy, there is one party rule. So some confusion is always there. Moreover, Chinese are in business anywhere. Anywhere you go, including Delhi, you will find China market. Anywhere. It's in business. So a lot of reasons are there. The global financial crisis, however, posed newer set of problems and compelled the world to evolve new strategies to come out of the crisis. In US, there are delegates from US also. Yes, US bail package and several central banks of different countries which came out with necessary credit infusion policies to tackle the crisis was appreciable, no doubt about it. But this has also indicated that the world, being financially well integrated, is also cooperative. Every country is cooperating with each other. The global partnership may help over global financial crisis in the future. There is a clear message from the global recession that we need to reshape, restructure our systems and economics and develop appropriate technologies in tandem with the rest of the world. We need to involve people in this process, because in democracy you can't succeed without participation of people. That is the basic principle in democracy. We need to involve people in this process more inclusively and directly in solving the problems the global economy faces today. We need to further accelerate the revolutionary advances in information technology, biotechnology, providing access to the latest generation broadband internet, telephones, energy and electricity, manufacturing and strengthening of indigenous technologies to meet the challenges of 21st century. We also need to strengthen infrastructure, telecommunications, climate-friendly development of energy for mass use at cheaper rates. This requires advancement and development of next generation biofuels and use of renewable sources of energy such as solar energy, wind energy, nuclear energy, etc. As the developing world becomes industrialized, their need for more energy both for industrial, commercial and even agriculture and household use would become paramount. Recent oil price shocks, it is a shock also for global market, you know that. Recent oil price shocks have adversely affected the growth and development of many economies of the world. Even though we see the prices of oil crashing down these days. India's vast land and natural resources are still to be discovered. Recent discovery of gas and oil is one such example, which provides ample opportunities for firms to use technological innovations developed in the West. Sharing technology not only gives economic benefits to all, but also gives enormous profits to technological partners themselves. Transfer of technology and its use is what India is looking for. and technological opportunities as of now, it is a key place for fostering global partnerships. India has a liberal policy framework for foreign direct investment. You know about that, and foreign technology transfer, FDI, up to 100% is permitted on the automatic route in a large number of sectors. There is no restriction on repatriation of original investment as well as returns on investment. Many new sectors have been opened to FDI, such as integrated township 100%, insurance 49%, airport 100%, mass rapid transit system 100%, etc. These are all these things. So I am giving you the real position of our economy, how it is moving and where you can also participate. We have launched ambitious program to upgrade our infrastructure to meet the ever-increasing requirements of our growing economy. India is looking at huge investment in sectors such as power, transport, including ports, airports, road, telecommunication, etc. A liberal foreign direct investment policy and the focus that the government has accorded to infrastructure sector have opened up tremendous opportunities for the businesses in our country to collaborate and operate in these sectors. And it is all where your participation can be there is very important, and you can participate in that. In the foreign trade policy of September 2004 and March 2005, the Government of India introduced a new scheme to establish free trade and warehousing zones. The scheme aims at creation of trade-related infrastructure facilities, the import and export of goods and services with freedom to carry out trade in transactions in free currency. Foreign direct investment would be permitted up to 100% in the development and establishment of zones and their infrastructure facilities. With increasing global integration, the Indian enterprises have started venturing into other countries for making production, acquisition, even reach the development. The policy on Indian investment overseas has been consistently liberalized. But our people are also investing abroad also now. The policy on Indian investment overseas has been constantly liberalized and streamlined from time to time. The Indian companies can now freely invest up to US $100 million in a year without prior approval of the Government of India. On the foundation of the inherent strength of the Indian companies and supported by the liberalized areas investment policy, our own enterprises are looking forward to avail opportunity in foreign countries. Our trade policy has also been greatly liberalized. Most items have been placed on the open general license system. Tariff levels have been brought down substantially and are gradually moving towards the Asian levels. India's trade policies are fully WTO compatible. India's scientific, technological and industrial capabilities have matured tremendously since we achieved independence. Similarly, India is today recognized as a world leader in the field of information technology that I have already said. Some of the most pressing and important challenges today to the international community, besides averting the global financial crisis, are peace. These are the global challenges. Peace, security, and sustainable environment. India, being a peace-loving country, is trying its best to maintain peace within the region and also globally. Increasing menace of militancy and terrorism has shaken the confidence of the common man and nations who want to live in a peaceful life. India, as a responsible nation, understands its duties of protecting its sovereign interest, economic needs of the people, and global concerns for peace, climate change, and security. India very well can distinguish and follow the policy of principle of pragmatism. What is desirable and what is achievable from the morally just to the pragmatic. Besides taking all possible steps towards global peace, sustainable environment and security, it has been trying to build consensus internationally in this respect. It is not only for us today, but also for many future generations. The world should be a place for peaceful living, sustainable environment, and secured place. Good night's sleep without fear, an educated, healthy, and comfortable world as what India aspires. India needs cooperation of the global partners in its endeavor of world peace, security, sustainable environment, and global prosperity and happiness. Om Vishwa Santim, Om Prithvi Santu, Santi are the mantras India has always enshrined in its philosophy for world humanity. Mahatma Gandhi, I will have to mention because Mahatma Gandhi has been mentioned even by the minister. Mahatma Gandhi is remembered today for outstanding contribution he made not only to the freedom of India, but to the cause of world peace. He taught us the doctrine of non-violence, not a passive submission to evil, but as an active and positive instrument for peaceful solution of international differences. He showed us that the human spirit is more powerful than the might of armaments. He applied moral values to political action and pointed out that ends and means can never be separated. For the means ultimately govern the end. Any society based on injustice must necessarily have the seeds of conflict and decay within it, so long as it does not get rid of that evil. In the vindication of this belief, Albert Einstein, what he said about Gandhi, I will just quote. Let us do whatever is within our power, so that all the peoples of the world may accept Gandhi's gospel as their basic policy before it is too late. That Albert Einstein has said. So before I conclude, I will just mention few lines more. It is time that the government, because your participation is a must, it is time that the government, NRI, and the people work together for mutual benefit. It is only then that we can do more in 21st century with confidence for a better future. I look forward to positive deliberation. I will have to say about that within 2 lines, because this is the concluding session. The deliberation of the Congress have been quite comprehensive. This is your morning deliberation till afternoon. The deliberation of the Congress have been quite comprehensive and thorough. The issues touched and discussed in detail relate not only to the status and the requirement of the NRIs to make their visits to the country easier and comfortable, but also extend to the measures which would enable their greater participation in economy of the country. There are issues which have been discussed, covers a very wide range. India is fortunate to have the largest diaspora after China, numbering about 25 million people across 110 countries. Today, they are adding to India's development as well with the net private transaction and transfers. I hope that the policy matters will be decided at the appropriate level, as the greater participation of NRIs in the economic development is a subject beyond party politics and merits support from all political parties. The proceedings are being documented and will be sent to the appropriate officials and concerned ministers. India is strong. Our economic policy is sound. The very essence of democracy is the change of governments. So I must point it out to you. The very essence of democracy is the change of governments in a peaceful manner and according to a set of procedure for asserting the wishes of the people. Real sovereignty is with the people of India. When we became independent 66 years ago, we have a vision, a dream. We must move forward in this direction with speed and determination to realize the goal in foreseeable future. If we have confidence in ourselves and the NRIs have confidence in themselves, such a task is not very difficult. Overseas Indians have excelled themselves. आपने excel किया है, then you are going to be also honored by Miraji, respected Miraji. Overseas Indians have excelled themselves and pioneered so much. We are proud that some of the richest people abroad are our brothers. According to the Forbes magazine, 9 families have combined assets of more than $600 billion. And see, you can imagine, His Excellency the Minister also spoke about Seychelles. You see, about Seychelles you have come to know very well. He gave a very valuable speech about Seychelles. And I think Seychelles is a place where he is going to celebrate very historic it is going to be a very historic event in October, I believe. And I think we all should participate in that, and Minister has already extended invitation, and we are very happy that Seychelles is not far away from us. And I am happy, Miraji, that most of the participants are from Tamil Nadu origin. And I was governor of Tamil Nadu, and the same connection, they connect with us. That's the greatest I have seen with them. So most of it, I think 80% Indians, among Indians, must be from Tamil Nadu. So it's a great thing, they are all participating here. So about Seychelles. And Gurinder ji and Deepak ji, mother, wife, the family is here, I tell you. I am so happy that the tradition which was established by the family and the organization which was set up by late Harbhajan Singh ji, because he has a vision. In democracy, we were custodian of democracy as a speaker of Lok Sabha. Miraji, you can imagine, in democracy, there is so much scope of NGO to supplement the effort of the government. Who is going to be benefited by this conference? Government. And so, as I said, in democracy, there won't be only one government. There will be change of government. But the economic policy, by and large, is the same. It can't be changed. So therefore, I am mentioning about it that the Harbhajan Singh, I must pay tribute. In the morning I had paid tribute. I must pay tribute to late Harbhajan Singh ji. He thought about it and set up this organization long before. And he continuously, for 3-4 days in the month of January, in Delhi, 24th and 25th of January, every year this function takes place, and a lot of brothers, sisters from abroad, Indian brothers, sisters, they come and participate, and the government is very much, any government is benefited by it. So this is a very important occasion, and they are doing very well. They are worthy son of their worthy father, and I am happy that they all, even ladies, they all take very much care of their mother. So that touches me, as a matter of fact. That touches me always, that the atmosphere of today in younger generation here, there, is not very healthy. But these people are totally committed. Mother is supreme, but Gandhi has said. So that they follow. And the organization, you can see, Miraji, how they are not only enhancing the prestige of their father, how well organized they have got that function. And your coming to this function has further not only improved the status of this function, rather naturally your views which will come after me, I believe they will, she will request you definitely after me to speak. This is my hunch. But is there any other speaker after me? No. Other speaker, then Miraji. Acha. So Miraji will speak, which will be most inspiring for everybody, because you are worldwide known. Miraji's voice in any part of India, it is itself a sub-country. Anywhere in India you go, south, north, east, west, Miraji's name is everybody's. Immediately Miraji's name will come as a speaker. Very suspicious, very, very sweet. And should I tell you the lighter vein, because after that you will have speeches. When Miraji became speaker, then the television several televisions, they approached me because I also come from Bihar. So they approached me and they said, she's so sweet-tongued, how she will be able to control these leaders? Managing human being is difficult. Managing human being is difficult. Managing leaders much more difficult. How as a speaker she will be able to manage? But I tell you, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning, most successful speaker and widely popular in the whole country, and globally also she has visited many countries. She occupied very important positions abroad also. So therefore we will be listening to a very learned person after me, and it will be very enlightening, and I hope after